Hello and welcome back to Red Panda of Destiny for our first official episode of An Odyssey of Horsepower with a 325 horsepower Ford F-150. Yeah, it's a tank. So this will be a little jankier than future videos. I didn't have that much time to film it as I only had the truck for the weekend. But I'm doing this voiceover over it, so hopefully we can salvage a review out of it. Hope you enjoy. Okay, here she is, a 2020 Ford F-150 XLT. Super Crew cab. I'm not sure on the bed length, but it must be either a 5.5 foot or a 6.5 foot. Of course, I'm showing off the Ford standard keypad there, which annoyingly you don't get on the Ford Focus, which is frustrating to a Ford Focus owner. You can see the inside here is very chunky stuff everywhere. Let's see, you see the hazard sign there, screen. Wait till I turn the key here. Of course, I'm overdubbing this, so I'm not completely sure what I was doing on the day. If you see that lever there, that's the shifter, which takes a little bit of getting used to. We're showing off there. That's the radio. I glossed over the off-road settings. I'm not sure if that, I think that's the diff lock, presumably, because it was a two-wheel drive, I believe. We got a nice switchblade key there. Nice to have one of those again. My Focus, of course, has the boring regular key. What's that dial? Those two dials, I think, are off-road related dials. Then we have the new Sync 4 system, or at least I assume it's a Sync 4 system, as it is different from the one in my Focus. Though I did notice it is just as terrible at connecting to my phone. I don't know if it's my phone or what, but considering I took the Focus in because it wasn't connecting to my phone, and then they give me a brand new truck, and it still wasn't connecting to my phone, there's something problematic there. It's very blue, that screen. I don't know if that's the camera or just because it's a Ford. Also, that you can see the AC there. What bothered me about that is my $18,000 Focus comes with climate control. This truck, which costs twice as much, does not. Really, you couldn't give us fucking climate control in a $40,000 truck. That was kind of insulting. Because it seemed like everything else is spec'd similar to my car. I don't know. It might have been a better spec you could get with upgraded stereo and climate control. But oh yeah, there's a weird thing about those dials. The dials face downwards. Yes, that is the only part that it shares with the Ford Focus. The headlight dial. Oh God. I really hate that. Why can't you just have a lever? Why does it have to be this weird little pull tab thing? It's a big truck. I want a big chunky door handle, but no, you get this little thing. Yeah, there's a shifter. 10-speed automatic. It's interesting. I don't think I'd ever driven a car with more than 6 gears before, so that was a new experience. There's a button on the end. I forget what the button did. It might have been the windshield wiper. The spray. Oh, and there's a full socket just out of shot there. I must have a power inverter somewhere. I still don't know what that dial did. Yeah, there you see. Full 3 prongs. Look at that. Wouldn't mind that in my Focus, I can tell you. I've got a power inverter, but you got to hook it up directly to the car battery, so it's not very practical if you're moving. Not unless you want to do some pretty Mad Maxy type shit there. What are we looking at now? Oh, more climate control, lack of. I think the interior was very comfortable. I will say that. You can put both of your arms on something and hold the steering wheel, which is the mark of a really good highway cruiser. My previous 2 cars have not had that. My Volkswagen Jedi started with did, but Hyundai Veloster and Ford Focus are a little too sporty. You can see what would be the back seat, but I was using as a cargo area, including my scooter there, which we'll be seeing again in the 1 horsepower episode. I was debating whether or not the truck or the scooter would be the first episode, but I thought we'd do a countdown, so we ended up doing it this way. You can see that they didn't even put the floor mats in place yet. The truck was so new. It's just a bunch of junk in the back there. But very practical space there. It's almost like driving a Ford Fiesta plus the bed once you get in the cab. I mean, I'm still not sure what the length of that bed was. It might have been the shorter bed, but if it's the shorter bed, damn, the long bed is long. Because I was struggling with the length of it. I mean, I had to get into that little parking space in an underground garage. Ooh, that was tricky. We've got a nice big bed that was covered in pollen because I guess they left it under a tree or something. Let's see, we're going to show off the step there. I do like the steps they put on trucks these days. I think all the trucks have a similar setup where you've got your pull-out thing there. And it does strike me that the F-150 is a very practical truck. And this one definitely has a very practical but slightly luxurious vibe to it. So I do understand, like, most of the features of the truck. What I don't understand is people who buy them when they don't need one. Like, it's just an unpractical behemoth at that point. Like, unless you, like, regularly need to transport stuff, then the logic of it really escapes me. And, of course, the reason it's big is because it has a big back seat. And it has a big back seat because people use them as SUVs. But it's like, well, pickup trucks are never intended to really have people in the back. I mean, the purpose is if you have, like, 3 or 4 guys you need to take with you. Oh, there's the nice Ecoboost label there. It was definitely fun playing with a turbocharger. Oh, and the Texas Edition badge, which from what I can gather only means it was built in, no, not built in Texas, sold in Texas, because Ford does not build anything in Texas. The only trucks built in Texas are Toyotas. I think all the Tundras and some of the Tacomas are built in Texas. And then also Tahoes, Suburbans, Escalades, and Yukons are built in Dallas as well. So GM has some presence in Texas. And the way Tesla's going, we'll soon be building Tesla Cybertrucks in Austin as well. So we'll have 3 auto-producing towns in a row, because the Toyotas come from San Antonio, Tesla's in Austin, and the GM factory is in Fort Worth, I want to say. Definitely in the DFW area. Oh, and this is me struggling to open the latch. Probably cut to the other video where I had to go in the YouTube it so I could figure it out, because it's just in a really awkward place. It's like, oh yeah, can you see anything? I don't think we can see anything there. You can see how shiny the chrome is, though. That's nice. That's how you can tell it's not a XL, because the XLs just have a black painted grille. Because nothing says premium like more chrome. Yeah, I can't figure it out. Let's just make it easy on myself to cut here.
Okay,
And
I think I figured it out. It should be
oh, okay, I'm coming back. I figured it out.
a little thing
should
that
be
slides
right
to the side.
Right. Nope. No, I haven't found it yet. Still looking. Still shiny bumper. It was really hard to find. It was ridiculous how hard it was to find.
I think I found it, but I'm going to need 2 hands.
I know Ford had a habit of hiding those things, because the one on the Focus is like this weird little lever you have to pull.
Okay,
and
so
it's
it was
just
just
like,
a lever.
Well, that's not what I was expecting.
Pull it like that,
I was
and then
expecting
it
the
is
traditional
luckily
latch. I can't
hydraulic.
remember what a
so
traditional latch is
when I
like
opened
now.
it.
Let's see if I show you. You have to reach your hand in to
Big
a very
V6
specific
in there.
slot and pull it sideways.
Where the turbo
I think.
is.
I might be misremembering that. But yeah, you can see the nice Ecoboost V6 engine there.
I'm not very mechanically minded.
Same
so I don't know what it is.
engine, just using something. What else do they
Okay.
use? The I was going to say the Mustang, but the Mustang has a 4-cylinder Ecoboost, the same engine as the RS. Oh, we seem to have run out of video.
That's like
I'll
where I could
put
just
some
shut it off here.
driving footage behind this or something. But yeah, this has been the Ford F-150 XLT, brand new truck, or at least it was a brand new truck. It's now been replaced by the 2021 F-150, which I believe is a new generation. I don't know much about F-150s. Not a fan of the F-150. Was actually really hoping they would give me a Ranger, because I'm very curious about the Ranger. Though I'm more of a traditional Ranger person. I like the old little Rangers. I don't like the new mid-size one. But I am really holding out hope that Ford is going to release a new Courier, which would be like the next size down from the current Ranger. But yeah, the F-150 I do not see the point of, especially if you live in a city. I happen to be hanging out with a friend in downtown Austin, so I had to get it into a underground parking garage under their apartment, and that was not fun. It's a little bit better where I live in slightly less urban Austin, but it was still a little difficult to do things like drive-throughs. Actually managed to slightly bump into the curb with the tire when I was trying to go through the drive-through. It was probably just me swinging slightly wrong. I'm used to a much smaller car. I drive a Focus, of course. But yeah, very impractical. Lots of power. The power was fun. This truck is fast, considering that it's huge. Definitely faster than my Focus. So that was entertaining. But cornering was less fun. Though it did handle a lot better than I was expecting. I was expecting a lot more wallowing from it. But compared to my Focus, which now has high-performance tires on it, it's pretty terrible. But I think we can wrap this up. That'll be all we're doing with the F-150, but future videos, I'm hoping to do some other projects. We've got 3 of them. One of them is to find a road with a corresponding number to the horsepower. I'd actually filmed the first street of Taylor, Texas, which was supposed to be the video for the scooter, but unfortunately that footage was so shaky I had to throw it away. It was truly terrible. But I did that while we were out road testing this in the countryside around Texas, where it feels much more at home than it does in the city. Then we also have one I was going to do where basically we do a minute for every horsepower it has. And possibly, if there's enough crowdfunding for it, move that up to an hour per horsepower. And for that, we'll be trying to visit Texas County courthouses. It's a project I've been working on my Instagram for a while, so that's the goal there. We also have one where basically you can contribute. I believe it was $1. You can spend $1 a minute or $1 a mile, and we'll go in whatever direction you want. And we'll kind of string everybody's requests together so we end up with some crazy, twisty route around central Texas. But if enough consensus is there, we will head in a straight direction. That's the premise of that one. And then we have the Greatest Driving Road, which will not be crowdfunded because I'm just going to pay for that if 2 projects for the same vehicle get funded. So that'll be the best driving road in the city, in the county, in the state, and eventually something will go to the tail of the dragon, though I might jump the gun on that because I'm really wanting to hit up the Focus event they have every year on the summer for the tail of the dragon. But yeah, lots of exciting projects. If you want to see those bigger projects, do donate. And if you happen to have a vehicle that you're willing to let us review, do get in touch. We're willing to travel anywhere in Texas. It just has to be a vehicle that we haven't done the horsepower number yet for. And preferably you'd be willing to do a little interview on why you bought whatever vehicle it happens to be. as that is going to be the point of future episodes, a very owner-based review system.